but there are 4 people from Kenya not here. Kenya doesn't have the best internet, so that may be a problem. Malawi, we have a couple people missing, but once again, they don't have the best internet. And a few other people are not here, but that's okay because I'm in touch with them. So I think WhatsApp may be a way that this club, being international, is going, and virtual, going to be a lot of contact with each other, as opposed to in-person meetings like this. But I don't know, we can go around maybe. Ralph, why don't we start with you and introduce ourselves?
Okay, I'm a past district governor from 7910, and I'm an honorary member of this brand new Rotary Club.
And Steve, thank you, Ralph. Steve?
Well, I'm the current, or just became the president of the Rotary Club of Acton, Boxborough in Massachusetts. And I'm also an honorary member of this new club.
Thank you, Steve. Allison?
Hi, I'm Allison. I'm based in Wisconsin, US.
Great, thank you. Thank you, Allison. She's being modest. Allison is so much greater than that. Jeremy?
Oh, Jeremy, you muted?
Jeremy?
So there we go. Good morning. Yeah, I'm Jeremy Warrener. I'm based out of Indianapolis and mostly do a lot of advocacy and self-employed consulting work with nonprofits, and also my background is in hotel and restaurant management, so I do some consulting in the hospitality field as well. So
Thank you, Jeremy. Elliot?
Thank you, Ken. Good morning, everybody. I'm Elliot Rittenberg with the Rotary Club of Westboro. Proud to be part of the formation of this group and you know, attending the meetings and supporting it, doing wonderful things. And I'm also in the District 7910 leadership chain, and will scheduled to be district governor in 23-24. So thank you.
Thank you, Elliot. Diana?
Good morning, everybody. We know each other well. Good morning, good day, good afternoon. We know each other pretty well. We've been together since the beginning, and my name is Diana Nestorova, and as you heard the discussions right at the beginning of our meeting, I am going through the detoxifying process of being immediate past district governor. So my term ended on June 30th. But I'm now headed to greener pastures, and most of all to be involved with you. I am the Rotary Club of World Disability Advocacy Advisor. Thank you.
Thank you, Diana. Pallav?
Good evening from Nepal. I am Pallav Pant. I am member of Rotary Club of Mount Everest, Lalitpur. And I am working especially in the disability inclusive disaster reduction sector. And currently I am member of this group too. Thank you.
Thank you. Anita?
From Nigeria. My name is Anita, and I am a member of the Rotary Disability Club.
And Anita is also secretary. Thank you, Anita. Elkin?
Yes, my name is Elkin Montoya. I'm an honorary member of the Lowell Rotary Club. I've been there for way past 25 years, past president. Group studies changed, you name it. I did a treasurer. Now I am the treasurer for the World Disability Rotary Club, the World Disability Advocate. I am proud to be part of this. I am honored to be a servant of a great cause. And I'm glad we're making a team with love for the service humankind. Thank you.
Thank you, Elkin. AJ?
Hey everyone, I'm AJ. I'm a disability policy advocate and consultant based in DC.
Thank you, AJ. So, like I said, we're missing a few people, but that's not surprising to me, which they're still active in different ways. So we have different kinds of members in this group. We have the charter members, which the people that are here are all part of the charter club that are not Rotarians, charter members. And we have honorary members, and the people here also who are not charter members are honorary members. The charter members at this point, the club is, like we said, is official. That's why we're having a meeting now. And also the club is now has a club member, Diana. And everybody that's a charter member also has an ID. So, Diana, so having an ID, does that mean now that they can go into the Rotary International site and set up their account?
Well, I know that you've been in touch with the club runner, and it is a two-step process. We have to make sure that the integration goes well, because let me just give you a brief explanation. First, a club is usually what we do all around the world. All the clubs are either they're in their district, right? And the district has a district website, which is a platform called either Club Runner or DuckDB. So what it does, it actually stores our information, our contact information for the club, and also you can communicate with the other clubs in the district and around the world that way. But what the Rotary International website, which is myrotary.org, it's the platform that Rotary International uses to communicate with the districts and with the clubs and with the Rotarians. So there is this thing that it has to be, we have to make sure that it works. The integration between our district is on Club Runner. So between the integration of Club Runner and my Rotary. And I know that Ken and Steve have been in touch with the Club Runner guys. They are located in Canada. They are very responsive and very helpful. I found them really helpful over the years. So that's what we are waiting from them. My understanding is, and Ken might know more, or Steve, that it is just, we do have the club number already. And if you can give me an option to share, I can show you the charter of the club. So you know that, you just want to see the charter of the club. And that's what I know for now about this integration. Once the integration is done, we can go and this is usually the secretary's job, the secretary and the president of the club's job, that you go and populate the club page with the members of the club and their contact information.
Okay, good. So they gave me a step-by-step of how to do that integration into the district site. So
can you see yeah. So here you're official as of June, of 17th of June.
Oh, okay.
And we have a nice letter from President Holger. There it is. Can you see it? Congratulating us. This is Rotary International President Holger, who was president until June 30th. From July 1 is Sehar Mehta from India. Okay, and now I can stop sharing. So Ken, you said that I know that they gave you step by step how to do it, and maybe you can share that with Anita so she can become more familiar with the Club Runner and how it works.
I will, and as Anita and I were talking, sorry, a little bit yesterday, I'm going to put the initial stuff in for her and for us, and then she can kind of monitor it afterwards as there are changes to the information as it goes on. So I'll be glad to do that. So, but I will share that with her. I haven't read through that whole step by step. I figured I would do it today and try to get us integrated into the system. So once we're integrated into the system, then everybody can set up an account. Is that true, Diana?
An account of
so they can get into the district website. So
yeah. That's actually let me tell you what the benefits are and why do you need this. Because all the information that is sent from Rotary International to the Rotarians will get to you, to the email address that you provided when you first gave your contact information. So my suggestion now is if you want to use another email address, please go back to Ken and to Anita and say, hey, please, would you change my email address to this one? Make sure that your phone numbers, your addresses, your email addresses are correct. And the other thing that you need this access is because this way you'll get information from our district about things that are happening in our district whenever there is a correspondence or communication coming from the clubs in the district sometimes or the leadership in the district. And also, if there are any events, you can go as a member and sign up for the events. For that purpose, you have to set up an account. But let's get to that when you are all on the roster. And then we can do during one of our Zoom meeting session, I'll show you how very easily you can set up an account in our district website and in Rotary International.
And just a quick question. Everybody on the screen right now is a Rotarian or either an active or an honorary member?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
Rotary International,
okay, so
Rotary International already has all the records and ID numbers and everything for everyone in this club. Usually it starts from the club and goes up to RI. This one we started at RI and there's no system to come back down. So we'll have to find a way to populate the district website with the information from this club.
You have to manually put it, Ralph.
Right.
And that's always been, it's like with, just think of, when you have a new member in the club. This is what you do it manually. Or when you remove a member, you do it manually. There is no other way that you can do it.
No, but Rotary International has already given them their number, so they're in their records.
Right.
Yes, because there's no way that they can charter the club otherwise.
Right.
They have to have the information.
So just a quick
Diana, do you see Allison's note in the chat?
No, I haven't. I'm sorry.
She says I was able to create an account.
Oh, you did have, that's probably, I don't know that, Allison, because I'm not a member of the club. So it is very possible that Rotary International sent you an email saying you can set up an account. Please do check your inboxes. My suggestion, please go to your spam folders. Please go to your spam folders, because very often the emails from Rotary International and from the district, they go to your spam folder for the pure reason that you don't have them in your address book as correspondent emails. Allison, if you don't mind, would you please go back into your inbox and tell us all what is the address, the email address that you received that email from? And while she's doing that, Steve had a question.
Oh, this is just to let everybody know that the people who are not either honorary, obviously we're all either honorary members or active members here in Rotary, but outside of this group, anybody who's not a Rotarian, in order to communicate with them, we have to use a tool like Constant Contact or SurveyMonkey or whatever it's called. So we may want to talk about that at some point, how we share information with everybody else who's not a Rotarian or who's not an active or an honorary Rotarian.
Okay, so Allison said that the email came from Rotary Membership Development.
Oh, okay.
So please make a note, Rotary Membership Development. That's the email that it came from them. And the subject was welcome to Rotary. Please check your inboxes, please check your spam folders.
Well, if we're already a member of Rotary, would we get one of those?
No,
Okay, so this is
No.
for the people who are new to Rotary.
yeah.
But they are
Honorary-
all of them are new, Steve,
Right.
apart from Elkin and Ken.
He's talking about the honorary members.
Oh,
They
honorary,
wouldn't get
no,
All right, so if I were to become an active, all right, never, right, of course.
It never mind. It never,
Yeah, as an honorary member, I'm already in the database.
yeah, if you are, let's suppose that you are transferred from a club to a club or a district to a club or whatever,
Right.
you have to go with your ID. Your
Right.
ID is for life, unless when you move to the new club, someone screws up, excuse my English, and put you again as the member. So we had over the years cases like somebody has more than one ID. And this is when you have to really go back to Rotary International and they can put them together. I had 5 members that I know of this past year that I personally notified the membership development, and they had to eliminate 2 of them had 3 numbers, 3 ID numbers. So they had to eliminate them, and it affects not only membership, but it affects your donations to the foundation. So this is, the rule is you have one ID number when you first become a Rotarian, and you go with that ID number for the rest of your life. How good it sounds. So.
All right, so Steve didn't get his. I mean, Jeremy didn't get his.
Oh,
Jeremy didn't. Jeremy, would
Yeah,
you please?
Sorry, yeah, I've just searched my email for both Rotary International or Rotary Membership Development. I don't have anything from either one, even in junk.
Jeremy, I'll have to check and see which email we got in there. Might have been before you changed your email.
Yeah, I thought that I put my Comcast one down because that one is consistent regardless of what work or what clients I'm working with. So hopefully that is the one that they have. So.
All right, I'll check it.
So something, just a suggestion again. If maybe Anita is a secretary or Ken or someone else from your officers, if you can send an email to all 20 members saying, please check your inbox, check your spam from an email coming from membership development with the subject line, welcome to Rotary. And if they haven't received it, double check the emails that you sent to Rotary, because it is, they might have made a mistake. You never know. Sometimes, when you have a dot or an underlining or a space, they don't see it and just have something else.
Okay, I'll do that today. I'll send it out to everybody today. Ask them to check it. So, Okay,
And once
so,
we've got, once
so
we
that's
get
good.
integration, once we get integration with Club Runner, if you've never done this before, you can go in and update your own profile.
Yeah.
Once you've logged in. So if anybody needs any help with that, just let me know, and I'd be glad to show you how to do that. If you've never been in there before.
Okay, so, and also, that will give them access to the Rotary magazine, which they should get an email. Is that how it works, Steve? They get an email because it's all digital, the magazine at this
Right.
point? Everybody's
And
getting
there
digital.
are two options now. Rotary, you can either get the paper version of the Rotary magazine, or you can get the electronic version, the digital version. You can't get both. So for instance, back in, I think, May or June, I signed up for the digital version, and they told me that it wouldn't take effect until July 1st. And so starting July 1st, I'm no longer going to get, well, starting July 1st, I won't any longer get a paper magazine, but I do now have access to the digital version of it, which is kind of nice because then you can search for it. I don't know if you can share the stories with other people to find out.
You can.
You can, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if
Yeah,
you're-
and I actually get both of them, Steve. I called them and said I wanted both. I want
okay.
the digital one so I can steal the pictures. But I wanted the print one to give them away to prospective members.
Okay.
But
Okay.
all you have to do is pay for it. You know, give them the $6 and they'll send it to you.
Oh, really? Okay. So the digital version is free, but the
No,
No,
it's
not?
not. You have to pay for it.
You
have to
have to
pay-
pay extra.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's the same. It's the same $12 a year for the.
Oh, okay. Got it. Okay.
You have to pay extra, or you can opt out of the printed version and just get the digital version because it goes into your dues, Rotary International dues.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
I signed everybody up for the digital version. So since we're virtual
Yeah.
group,
Yeah, it makes sense.
Is the digital version in, well, you know, they have different versions of Rotary magazine around the world. I think there are 6 or 7 different versions. So when you get the digital version, are you getting the digital version of that part of the world?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. It goes by the address, by your home address. And let me tell you about the digital version. I actually was in a very extensive public image a conference over the last 3 days. It was located in Europe, and that's why they, you know, obviously July 4th doesn't tell them anything, so it's not a holiday there. But it was very informative, and they are actually all the editors of the different versions. They are coming together now, and the Rotary magazine for the month will be more or less unified for all, with the front cover picture, with most of the articles inside the Rotarian. There will be just few pages that will be allocated to that particular region, because it differs from region to region. But anyway, they are coming together because they realize that it is a Rotarian magazine, and I have it first-hand experience over the years. I would hold my, you know, I will take my Rotary magazine on my trip, and people would say, "What's that? We've never seen that," or I would never seen theirs. So that they are talking about more of a one Rotarian magazine per month that will fit all, with some, you know, stories that are for that particular region.
thank you. And I want to welcome Ankita.
Hello, Ankita.
She's mute.
Ankita, you want to just tell everybody who you are?
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm so sorry for being late. I had to travel urgently. I'm just joining from midway. Yeah. Congratulations on the club formation.
Thank you. She's a little bit about your background. Maybe she's having a hard time hearing us. She's a pretty impressive person. So I just want to, again, I'd love to hear about your background a little bit. Ankita?
You want to know what the background?
Yeah.
About your biography, who you are.
Okay, yeah. So I'm so sorry. I was in the middle of something, yeah, so I could not understand that. Yeah. So I mean, what exactly? Probably there are some new members, so I'll introduce myself again. Yeah. So I work for children with disabilities. So I've been working with them for the last 6 years, and we are mainly focusing on making diagrams and pictures accessible for children with visual impairment. That's how we started. That how can we integrate multi-sensory learning for children with visual disabilities? From our experience, we created technological solutions which are low cost, affordable, and which can work in multiple languages. Starting from that, we created a variety of devices which can cater to cross disabilities as well. And as of now, we are working with India's biggest book publisher, National Council for Education Research and Training, to convert the subject curriculum as well as recreational books into multi-sensory formats. Apart from that, we also work towards accessible infrastructure as well as accessibility solutions for companies. We work with supermarkets in India. We work with major hotel groups in India. So that's what we're doing as of now. Over the last 6 years, we started with the focus on children with visual impairment, but we eventually, the vision aligned towards being inclusive, that how can we create an inclusive society in India. And apart from India, we operate in US as well. We are doing 2 collaborative projects with MIT. And apart from that, we are also working with few regions in Europe, mainly Poland and Germany as of now. Why we debuted to the so-called developing world when we were creating affordable own tech? Because first of all, we wanted to validate the tech, that it can be of good quality and it can work anywhere in the world. We can create some universal tech. That's why debuting into those markets was important for us. Apart from that, the understanding which comes from these markets, as they have been focusing on accessibility and inclusion for over hundreds of years, that has helped us in creating solutions for our country, India.
Thank you. Thank you. So glad to have you on board. I just wanted to just quickly reiterate what we are and why we are different from the committee. And the committee's goal is to work with Rotary and focus on Rotary and try to make Rotary more disability friendly, where the club works on different things. The club is going to work on projects around the world where there is a need, a human rights need for people with disabilities. And so we have committees set up in many different countries at this point. And they're getting together every few weeks and talking about what there is a need there for. Once they identify a need and the club feels that it's something we can take on, then we will coordinate with a number of different factors to try to resolve that need. And first, we will contact the local Rotaries in that country, and urge them to take this on as a project. And then, if that Rotary wants or has needs for help from other places, we will coordinate with other Rotaries around the world to see if there's another Rotary willing to take on the project and work together with them. We'll also work with NGOs, nonprofits. We'll work with government officials if necessary. We'll work with corporations if necessary to make that need resolved. Actually, just yesterday, Anita and I met with a number of people from Nigeria, and that's going to be our newest committee, working to try to identify some needs in Nigeria, which is cool. It's possibility that, and I've been talking to some of them about the fact that eventually these committees could turn into Rotaracts in their country. So they could all be members of Rotary in some way or other. And the reason for Rotaract is because it's inexpensive. So that's a possible goal that we're heading towards. I just want to tell you, as I told you, I mentioned before, the Kenya, which is just moving forward, and unfortunately none of them are here. And it may be because their internet problems, it may be, I don't know, the time of day there may be working. So Kenya has identified that there is a need for people to get ID cards, government ID cards. And so they are working on a plan to do a campaign. We're getting Rotary involved in it. We have a woman who's actually on the disability diversity DEI committee in task force in Rotary International, a very respectful Rotarian in the area who's working with us to try to get Rotary involved. She's bringing in some Rotarians into it. We're talking about maybe offering a grant to apply for a grant to maybe get so many people signed up for the IDs. It's one very interesting story that's come out of all this thing with the Kenya is that just recently, in the last few days, they found a person who was crawling around on the floor. And the reason he was crawling around the floor because he needed a wheelchair, but he could not afford a wheelchair. And the reason and the problem is he had not signed up for the government ID. So had he signed up for the government ID, there would have been services that would have provided maybe him a wheelchair. So there's that. So that's why it's important for them to sign up from the government ID. Now, another side, a note to that particular story is that there is a company in Canada who is willing to buy get this person a wheelchair. But they want to work with a Rotary. So we are that Rotary they can work with. I've been in touch with Mark Wafer to see if he knows who that company is. If he doesn't, then I will directly contact them ourselves. That would be a great story if this new Rotary Club has helped this one person have a better life. So that's the kind of things we're working on. We have committees in India and Brazil and a number of other places that are also working on identifying things. So that's what this club is going to do. That's our mission to do it. So go ahead, Steve.
I just wanted to add one thing to Ken's excellent presentation. As of this past July 1st, a few days ago, Rotaract clubs are now an official part of the district that they're in. So that membership, if you could clarify, Diana.
Rotaractors have been elevated to a status as a type of membership in Rotary. They're not Rotarians.
Right.
They're not going to be Rotary. Just don't mix the two together. So they will always be Rotaractors. They will always be called Rotaract clubs. They are not Rotarians. Their status has been elevated as a type of membership in Rotary.
Right.
Starting July 1. Starting July 1 of next year, they will start paying dues. $5 per year if you are college-based or university-based, and $8 per year if you are young professional, if you're not at school anymore. The other change that they have this year is that they can start applying for district grants and global grants with the help of Rotary Club. Starting July 1 of next year, 2022, they can start applying for grants on their own. What else? Starting July 1 this year, they can opt out to be on their own, not needing the sponsorship of a Rotary Club, or they can still continue to have the sponsorship of the Rotary Club. It's up to them. So all those changes, they started back in 2016 in the Council on Legislation. They voted on them, and they added some new things on the Council on Legislation in 2019. So it is a stage, actually developing by stages to elevate Rotaractors being part of Rotary, but not being Rotary. So let's not mix the two together.
Right.
They want to be very clear about that. Both Rotaractors and Rotary International.
Okay, Elkin, you have a question?
Yes, yes, Ken. And thank you for bringing us to date on the project that we're working on in Kenya. One of the things that I wanted to, as we grow, it is important that we have a protocol or a process on what project we want to be involved. In the case that we as one individual make a decision, I don't think it's something that it would be healthy for the club in the future. It would be better off to bring it to the board and let the board make that decision as a combined effort. Right. And that is something that let's start in a good note. And I think it is a great project to do. It is a great, quick, and easy. I say easy so far, but as we move forward, when we commit, we want to be committed from the board of directors approval, not from the individual approval. And
I agree with that. I've been working on a form for them to fill out in order to submit an idea. So.
Okay, and thank you.
Okay, so I mean that's a great story, and hopefully we're going to have more great stories around the world where we will be changing people's lives like that. I know Danilo, he's from Brazil. He's actually one of the members of this club, had written to me with an idea he had to work with a company to create some training for people with disabilities to do programming and system analysis, and which I thought was a great opportunity to do a grant. If we could find a Rotary in Brazil that would want to do a grant on that would be super. So just an idea. I mean, these different individuals and committees are kicking around ideas at this point, and like I said, we'll have a form for them to submit to us. But lots of potential around the world to do human rights issues for people with disabilities and change lives. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. As far as future meetings are concerned, I was thinking that we probably should meet twice a month. It's going to be a different kind of a group. It's not like, as we are meeting today, and we'll have those meetings, but we're going to be communicating with each other through other means because of the fact we're international, because we're virtual. And like I said, WhatsApp may be one of the ways of doing that by setting up a WhatsApp group so we communicate back and forth with each other. I communicate with all the groups, and there are 5 of them right now. Actually 6, we're going to add Nepal, and we'll add Nigeria. So there'll be 7 through WhatsApp groups, and that's a good way for this kind of a group to communicate with each other. But I was thinking on future meetings, like I said, twice a month, and I have to figure out how this all works with the committee also. I don't know how people feel about, instead of meeting during a weekday, to where we could meet on a Saturday morning. Is that something I'm going to throw out? Like I'm talking about a Saturday morning for people on the East Coast in the United States, but it's not Saturday morning for a lot of the people in the group. So basically I'm saying a Saturday.
I'm just thinking about the time zones. I think for our friends in Africa, that would be good because it's mid-afternoon to late afternoon. But for our Indian friends, it will be evening. So I think they have to, you know, they have to say if that's good for them, because Saturday evening might be a little bit challenging, you know, family and all that. So
Can we alternate it? So one meeting a month is based on Eastern time, for example, and the other meeting is based on some other time zone.
We could do that. You know what I'll do is I'll send out a poll to everybody and see
Okay.
what their response is on that. Okay.
That means, Diana, that we're gonna have to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
I actually, well, you know, do you know why he's saying that? Because he knows we've been working very close for the past, what, 18 months, 20 months now?
Yeah, yeah.
And you know, I've been sharing with him that I would get up 3:30 in the morning to stay in a meeting. So I had my fair share of those. And if I need to do it again, I'll do it. But I mean, not everybody's ready to do that or have an opportunity to do that. So maybe alternating is the best way to go.
Right. Ken,
All right,
just a
Go
quick
ahead.
point of information. On WhatsApp, I think they only take up to 4 people at a time. Or did they change that?
No,
Is that more than that?
You can do 200 people, 500 people, whatever you want to do.
No,
The last time I used it, it
think
was
what
only up to 4
Steve-
people at a time.
I think what
Steve's
Steve
talking-
was referring to is the fact that if you're going to have a meeting on WhatsApp, you can
Face
only
to
have 4
face.
people, but as a group, you can have 100. Yeah.
Face to face,
Oh,
yes.
Okay,
But
so,
there's a text messaging, no.
it's text messaging, okay.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be a critical part of us communicating is to have that WhatsApp group. Not everybody. I mean, WhatsApp has its controversies, but right now that's where most people are, I think. So.
I actually like
And
WhatsApp.
so we're also. I don't have any problem with it. I find it a good tool. So and Ralph is now on WhatsApp, so we can all communicate with him now. So too. So
Yeah. So have you already set up the group, Ken, or you haven't?
no, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that now. I'm not
Oh,
sure
okay.
if everybody in. I'm not sure. I have to make sure everybody is in that, and not everybody wants to use WhatsApp. I know. In particular, Tanisha, who's not here, she doesn't like WhatsApp, but that's, we'll work with it. We'll work it out one way or the other. So it's a learning process on that right now, because we're basically breaking new grounds with Rotary. So we'll figure out the solutions to it. And of course, I'm still working on the bylaws, Diana, and I need to get those done. And so I'd share that with you first, and then with everybody else afterwards. So,
Well, I think I suggest you don't do it yourself. Get the officers of the club and just do it together, because it's a lot of work. And not only that, but you have something very specific here. So I think, did I send you the bylaws that I got from one of the e-clubs? Because those
Yes.
will be the okay. Just go by them, because you don't need to reinvent the wheel. And again, as we always say, there is no stealing in Rotary, there's always borrowing. So you borrow, you pick other people's mind, and if they've been through it and they've experienced it, and especially the one that I sent you, they said that they changed it 4 times already in 7 or 8 months. So it is a work in progress.
Is there a basic Rotary International sort of template
Yeah.
of bylaws?
Yeah.
Take notes of
You do go by the Rotary International Constitution. That's something that you don't do for the club. But what you have to do for the club is the bylaws of the club, because every club is different.
And we need those bylaws. We need those bylaws to file with the Commonwealth of Massachusetts to set up the corporation. So what I would suggest is, instead of spending a lot of time right now trying to come up with a final version, just take the template that we get from Rotary and from the E-Club that Diana sent, and do a very generic version of that and submit that to the state. Then we can come back and fine tune the bylaws to get them to say what we want. But you don't want to wait 3 or 4 weeks to get the bylaws done before we submit to the state. So.
Great point, Elliot. Thank you.
On the Rotary, to access the general bylaws from Rotary, they're in the manual of procedure that you find on the Rotary website. So when you go to their website, look for manual of procedure under Learn About Rotary, and listed in that is the ones for all the clubs. Bylaws and constitutions.
Yeah, but those are very old bylaws, Ralph. Right. So what I suggest is the one that we have from the E-Club, and another one, I think I sent you, Ken, another one. Just, have, and I completely agree with Elliot. Have it as soon as possible.
Okay. All right. It's basically all I have here. Obviously, we're not at this point to schedule another meeting until I get that survey out and seeing what days people are best for them to meet. So once I get that survey out and I get the responses, I will schedule the next meeting then at that point. Okay, go ahead, Steve.
Ken, just a question about, because this club is based in the United States, are we going to become a 501c3 or a 501c4? But in either case, we also have to file with the IRS to get one of those statuses.
Elliot knows.
Steve, Elliot and I and Ken and Rob, we talk about that, and without registering the club with the state, we cannot move forward. So after we do that, we already spoke about what the next step is. Is that correct, Elliot? Please, or Ralph, please.
Yeah.
We already talked about that.
We have to file with the Secretary of State here in Massachusetts to get an ID number. Right. Once we have the state ID number, we can file with the IRS to get our tax ID number, our federal tax ID number. And the first step would be to file as a 501c4 under Rotary's umbrella. We just have to, there's a form that goes in when we apply for our tax ID number that puts us under Rotary's umbrella, and then we have to inform Rotary that we're doing that as well. If we want to become a 501c3 or set up a separate 501c3 at a later date, we'll do that afterwards. But to get the club formed and the corporation formed, we want to do a 501c4 because that doesn't take any time. And you have to go through those steps. You have to do the 4 first to get the tax ID number. Once you have the tax ID number, then you can apply to be a 501c3 if in fact that's what we want to do. There's limited benefit though to a 501c3 in this format, since a great number of our members are going to come from outside the US, and a 501c3 doesn't have any meaning outside here. So,
and just to clarify for those of you who are outside of the United States, the 501c3 means that we're a nonprofit charitable organization. And that means anybody in the United States who makes a donation to us, if we were a 501c3, can use that as a write-off on their taxes. You, as a 501c4, we're still a nonprofit, but you're not a tax deductible one. And again, this only applies to people who are, citizens of the United States of America.
But don't forget that
in your own countries, you may have something similar to that.
Yeah, I think 501c3 might wait a little if you decide to go that way, Because you do know that our district has 501c3, so you can always go through the charity fund of the district. So that's, you know.
Can I like to add one point? I met with the board of directors of the Bedford Rotaract Club, which will be chartered probably in August. And they were quite interested in this disability, you know, our disability advocacy group, and want to become members. But they also want to take on a project addressing domestic violence, are basically children of domestic violence in the, and perhaps even those dealing with disabilities at the same time. And they are quite interested in doing video work and things of that nature because they've both been active in Bedford Community Television. So they are interested in that. And if some other people in the world want to start a Rotaract club, they may want to link in with them to begin with and then expand from their experience as well. Those kids are really hot to go on some exciting projects.
Hey, Ralph, are the members of that Rotaract club, are they students or are they young professionals?
Well, right now they're just students. One's at the University of Lowell and the other's at Boston University.
Okay.
But it's a community-based Rotary club. I mean, Rotaract club. So that's the difference that we're working on. But yeah, they're open to anybody that wants that's interested in exploring this.
You know that for chartering a Rotaract club, you have to have 12 members, correct?
Yeah, I wasn't sure what it was originally 4, but I'm not sure what it is now. Right.
12. Actually, they reduced the number. It used to be 25. Now it is 12.
Okay, we'll see.
Yeah.
They're getting there. It's coming in, but it's still, they're not quite there yet.
Well, it has to be announced and, you know, advertised, and, you know, the kids know how to do that.
Yeah,
and if it is going to be a community-based club, and again, don't forget that our district has a Rotaract club in PU, so they have to collaborate. They can collaborate with them if they want to. If they don't want to, it's up to them, of course. But I mean, I see more potential here in collaborating with the other Rotaract clubs.
Yeah, yeah, I do too. I think it's exciting to do. Anyway, but they are ready to go. They're getting ready to go, but they still, and they did a news release to the Bedford Minuteman just last week. So they're just getting out there in the real world.
Ken, I have a question. Who is responsible for the Facebook of the page of the club? Do you have a person from the club whose, you know, whose job is to post on social media?
And I think we also have to decide.
We haven't gone that far yet. I did set up myself the Facebook's page, so it's set up. But I mean, it's only been 2 weeks, so we have to figure all that out as time goes on and see who's interested in doing it.
I know, but I mean, my experience with the other clubs that are newly formed clubs is that, you know, the best, not the best, but the most, the most they get is raising awareness of what they do is from posting on social media, especially with the clubs that are based in different countries, not in only one location.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And like I said, the Facebook page is up and running. We have a LinkedIn page up and running. I plan on setting up a blog that will be up and running. So we'll have those things. It's just we'll need to talk among ourselves to find out whether somebody else would like to administer those pages or not. So it's just a matter of finding that person, that's all. Right now it's me.
And again, it shouldn't be just you. You have 19 other members in the club.
I understand. And we need to work those things out, you know, and once again, you know, how we move forward and all that is all something I'm working on at the moment. So, and Jeremy, I'll be in touch with you. I got some thoughts on things that we can work on. And Anita, I will be in touch with you to talk a little bit more about she's the secretary and what that all means. So maybe you and I can have a conversation, or at least a text conversation. And Pavlov, we need to work on the Nepal group. So I'll be in touch with you on that. And Elkin, you have a question?
Actually, I do. 2 points of observation. One is that have we gone through all the agenda points that we needed to get to today? And 2,
yes.
let's be consistent on time. If it's going to be an hour meeting, let's stick with an hour meeting. Or if it's going to be an hour and a half meeting, let's stick with 1.5 hours. Because you retire, Ken, and Ralph retire, and you got time to spare. But sometimes other people are not, so they're going to block that hour and a half to do this meeting. They don't want to miss it. So let's be aware of that on the time frame. So I just wanted to ask you, Ken, have we completed all the agenda points that we needed to touch base today?
Yes, we have completed those times, and I am
Okay.
very, actually very fussy about keeping the meeting to an hour. We're into an hour and 5 minutes at this point, but don't believe the retired person has nothing to do.
No. I didn't say that. I just say that other people have commit to go to. So when we establish the hourly or when are we going to meet, and throughout the world, okay, it is important that it's going to be an hour and a half, not an hour, okay? Right. And be on time is an important part to it, and be consistent with that, because this is the time that gets people discouraged to be participant. Is that because the time goes on, people talk, and not cover all the points. So to me, I'm a firm believer on that, and I'll leave it at that. Let's talk about that. Let's keep that in mind. The next time is an hour and a half meeting.
Okay.
No, I agree, and I think it should be an hour meeting, and I would like to try to keep to that in the future.
I think this is good. We covered good stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
Ken, if you can stay just a minute after the meeting, that would be great.
Yep. Right. Sure.
Okay.
Okay, then.
Diana, do you need anybody else?
We used to have a bell. We used to have a bell in Rotary. I need a bell. Ding, it's over.